Hi guys, it's been a while. We're doing this a little different, just to make sure that I actually do the videos for the YouTube channel, because every time we would go to do a podcast, I'd say, oh no, I won't record this one, I'll do the next one, and then I never recorded any of them, so, bear with me. My entire family has COVID, so I might, be out of breath a little more than usual. But I'm determined to get back to podcasting because it's been 2 months now since I've done anything, maybe even 3. It's been a while, but I'm gonna get back on track now. We're not really starting over per se, but I'm just gonna try to be more steady and more actually on point of what I want this podcast to be. We're starting with something kind of heavy today, but it's just something that I was sitting down writing everything out that I wanted to make episodes about, wanted to discuss, get across, and this one just really kept sticking out to me, so we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna do a quote of the day or quote of the episode, however you want to put it, with each episode now. It's gonna be something to kind of go along with whatever that episode is. Just something to kind of inspire you, to push you, motivate you, to keep you lifted up. A lot of times it's going to be something to prove that just because you're going through something doesn't mean that's the end, or that you can't keep going. So today is "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life" by J.K. Rowling. So big controversial thing. I've seen a lot over the years for this topic. I can understand where people are coming from on both sides. So I'm not saying that necessarily your side is wrong if it's the opposing side of my opinion, because it's just that. It's just an opinion. But I'm going to kind of give examples of my life and my personal experience, which is kind of what helps me decide my stance on this. Sorry. Out of breath. So addiction, choice, or disease has been a big debate for years. I actually have friends who believe one way than me, and we've gotten into strong debates about it. But I personally think addiction in itself, to the point of where you are absolutely addicted to something, I feel is a disease. Yes, I feel that you made the choice to do whatever it is you're addicted to in the first place, but nobody goes into things thinking, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get addicted to this. People, yeah, nobody goes into things saying oh yeah, let's just sell everything so that I can get this drug. Let me, continually shoot this stuff in my vein or snort this up my nose because it's just the fun thing to do. This is my choice. I'm choosing addiction. I know that everybody has to make the choice to get help when they're at that point of being addicted. But for someone who has struggled with, substance abuse, it doesn't start with it doesn't always start with going full force into it. Sorry. And also, there's such a stigma around it that it makes it hard to choose to get help, because for a lot of times, there's the fear of jail time. There's the fear of, if I come forward or come clean about this, am I just going to end up behind bars, or am I actually going to get help? There's also, what are people going to think about me? They're always going to look at me different. They're never going to trust me again. And I actually have people in my life who helped me get through things, and They mean well, they do, but they do look at you differently. They do, worry about you. They do question, oh, is she using again? Is she back to her partying life? Is she making the right decisions? They kind of don't trust you with your own decisions anymore. So, I understand that people mean well, but it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to go through. Getting help isn't always easy. Like, especially for me, it's not easy for me to ask for help. So yeah, I guess you can say it is a choice whether you get help to get out of that or not. There are choices in all situations, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the addiction itself is not a disease. Everybody always goes into things thinking, I can stop anytime. Because I've heard people say, well, if it's really that, controlling of your life, why don't you just stop? Easier said than done, because when you're to the point of you've been using drugs and alcohol for so long to mask a feeling, at least in my case, that's what mine started as. And you use so much because eventually you start to build up the tolerance, and then you start looking for stronger things. And then it's to the point where your body thinks that you need that. You think that, oh, well, I can't feel this good, this happy. I can't ride this high on, without this drug or without this drink. You start to get to where you will go through withdrawals if you don't have things like that. It'll make you angry. It'll make you sick. It'll make you painful. Like, it's really not easy. So like the high is great, but that come down is awful. And a lot of people think that they can't make it through that. And so they turn to using again or drinking again or, whatever your vice may be, because it's easier to just take another drink than to feel everything that you're feeling without it, because that's what your body is making you think. It's what your brain is making you think. Like, for instance, mine just started as I just took a drink every now and then to take the edge off, to not feel with everything that I was carrying for my whole life. And then it turned to where that one drink wasn't enough. So I started drinking more. And then the few drinks started turning into I was buying alcohol with my entire checks. And I remember being in junior high and high school, taking pills in the bathroom with my friends. And then the alcohol and the pills led to wanting to try more stuff. And so then I started adding all kinds of stuff, really. There was Adderall, there was Molly, there was X, there was gabapentin pills, there were so many things, to the point that there was one time where I was with who I call my little brother, and it turned to tinfoil and straws, and I don't know, I guess I hit rock bottom, and it's just to the point where I needed to feel how I felt when I had everything in my system, because it felt like I was on top of the world, like I didn't feel any more pain, and I didn't think about all the things that I'd been carrying around in my life, and it just made me feel like I could do anything. I was invincible. And then the come down made you feel so bad that the only thing you could think of was, I just need to find something else. I just need more. So, for my personal experience, I know what it's like to feel like you have to have something to make you feel that good. And I know what it feels like when you want so bad to stop, but you just can't. Like, it's literally like your brain and your body are telling you, but if you stop, you're going to feel like this again. You're going to start thinking again. You're going to feel miserable. You're going to hurt. you have to have this. But yeah. So, yes, there are choices in the decisions that you're making to get to this point, and there are choices that you can make to get out of this point. But it's not that easy, I guess. And it really does take over your brain and your body as if it's a disease, and it can kill you. I watched my little brother almost lose everything, including his life. There was a point in time where we didn't know if he was going to come back because he got so bad and he had so much in his system that he wasn't awake. He literally laid in a bed for about a week and we didn't know. So I don't know. What do you think?
What do I think it is?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could be both to a degree.
It can. And anything can become an addiction. And I think a lot of people think that it's just drugs and it's just alcohol and it's a certain type of person, like a non-educated, lower class person that you see on the side of the street, that's the only reason they're doing that, because they don't know anything. But I'm a very well-educated person. I'm actually fairly smart. It can happen to anybody, and it doesn't always have to be because that person doesn't have anything else or anywhere else to go or whatever. That's majority of the time you see is, yeah, it's a lot of lower class people, but I don't know, there's just such a stigma around it. It can happen to anybody, and you can get addicted to anything. You get addicted to the internet, you can get addicted to the drugs and alcohol, you can get addicted to food. You can literally be addicted to anything. And yes, it's always a choice to use it. Like the person who decides to look up porn one day doesn't go into it thinking, oh, I'm just going to make this my entire life. I'm going to have a porn addiction or a sex addiction. No, it's just something that normal humans tend to have urges to do. And then before you know it, you're addicted. And you don't mean for it to happen. I don't think anybody goes into it thinking, I'm just going to throw my life away for this entire, one thing, this vice in my life. So I guess I can see both sides. You do make the choices to get there, but
It's like that SpongeBob episode with the hooks.
yeah.
They were just playing on them, having fun. Patrick had like 8 in his mouth.
Yeah, mine started with, I had so much I was carrying in my life. I wanted to feel good. I wanted to let loose. And so it started with the partying with my friends. And before I knew it, there was a night where I had at least 5, probably more drugs in my system in one sitting. And honest to God, don't know how I haven't died yet. I mean, I don't do it anymore. That was a while ago, but it's crazy. You never see yourself getting there. You never see yourself taking it too far. My dad always told me that, temptation is tricky. Like, it looks fun. Stuff will look very, very fun. And then before you know it, you're hooked, like the hooks. Yeah, it's a struggle. I understand that a lot of people, like I know a lot of my friends, are very adamant about it's a choice because, they've had parents or loved ones who chose drugs and stuff over them. And I understand that it hurts and that's hard to accept. And I don't excuse it by any means. Anyone who chooses drugs and alcohol over their kids is the lowest of the low, in my opinion. But I also do understand the aspect of being so hooked on something. So I understand that they're very adamant about it's a choice because their parent made that choice for the drugs over their kid. And at that point, yeah, it's a choice and that's a bad choice. But I also understand that sometimes your brain is so hooked that you don't really know the choice that you're making. You know, you're so in there. It can get hard. But the quote is just because I really did hit rock bottom. But I'm in such a better place now. I think Thomas can agree with us too. We were at the very lowest point that you could probably go in life. And there's nowhere to go but up from there. So rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life is very true for me. I was at rock bottom, very low point. Don't want to go back there. And so all I could do was just rebuild, So if you are a person who's struggling, and I will say this, addiction, a lot of people say that it's just lack of self-discipline. I actually am a person with a lot of self-discipline. If I set my mind to something, I am very strong-willed. Like, I can do that. It's not always that easy. There are still days that I think about that feeling. I can still feel it. I still have it in the back of my head. I can still taste. I can still, it's all very, very vivid. And there are days when that thought in the back of my mind wants me to feel that again. I just have more priorities now in life. So I'm making the choice to not go back to that. But it's not something that someone can just let go of. For anyone who's addicted to anything, we will always remember. We will always feel. We will always know everything that we went through. And it will always be there every day of our life. So it's not always about self-discipline. It takes a lot. But I just want you to know, if you are out there struggling with anything, it doesn't even have to be addiction, but with anything, if you're at a low point, if you're at rock bottom, if you are headed to rock bottom, you can always come up. I know it seems impossible. It's not always easy, and it seems never ending sometimes when you're stuck in problems. But you can rebuild. You can start over. Make the rock bottom that solid foundation. Just take it day by day, minute by minute, one step at a time, and just come up. I know it's not easy. I am always open for anyone, for any opinion, for anything. I have email, social medias, everything will be listed. You can comment, whatever you want to do, reach out to me. You can email me with a fake email even, make it completely anonymous. I'm working on trying to find something where people can send anonymous things to. I don't know exactly how you do that, but I'm going to make it happen. But if you want, just make up some random email, make a fake social media account, whatever you want. Just, if you don't want me to know who you are and you want to say something, even if you don't want me to respond, you can just say it all and then say, hey, don't bother responding or whatever. If you don't want to hear anything back from me, you just want to let something off your chest. If you want to give me your opinion, whether it be choice or disease or on anything, I'm always here. You can reach out and you can change your life. It's never too late. Yeah. Leave comments. Let me know. Like I said, this is just my opinion. I don't think anybody is necessarily right or wrong in this situation. Choice or disease. I think it's both, honestly. But if you have a different opinion, let me know. If you agree, let me know. If you have something else completely off the wall, off topic that you want to let me know, leave a comment. Anything. I will look at every single comment. I will even respond. Unless you don't want me to, you can tell me that. It's fine. But yeah. It's kind of short, kind of out of breath. Sorry, I rushed through it. But I'm going to be getting into some pretty serious and deep things just because I need people to know, I need my story to have a purpose. And I need people to know that you're not the only one that's ever went through things. And you can come up, you can get out of it, because I did. I still struggle every day, but I made it happen. And that's what this is going to be about. I will see you guys and talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.